got a full moon all night long, but look how bright it is. You can just film everything normally at like 5 a.m.
Good morning. It is 5:20 and I am back to getting an early start. Behind me you can see the full moon, which makes it hard to sleep at night. But anyways, there's 3 reasons why I wanted to leave earlier. Number 1, I think we were all really shocked at just how exposed it got again. Like once we climbed into Sierra looking trees, we're like, we made it! And then we went straight back down into the hot desert. So we decided to get an early start. Number 2, about halfway through the day-ish, miles 7 to 10, is a really big climb, like 2,000 feet. I do not want to do that in the heat of the day again, so I'm gonna try to do it before noon. 10 by 10 would be nice, but I'm not like gonna force myself to do that. Number 3, I'm down to 1.5 liters, and the water cache is in 7 miles, so I need to get there before it gets too hot and I drink it all. That's not my ideal. I was trying to not have to rely on the water caches, and now I am. But yesterday just really surprised me, and I had to drink a lot more water than I was anticipating for those like 7 miles after the water cache. So anyways, trying to make some miles before the sun comes up and it gets too hot. So the goal today is 19.5 miles. So essentially 3 20-mile days in a row. The reason for that is that's the next water source, the next for real one that's not a water cache. My body is definitely feeling the 320s in a row, or rather, I've only done 2 of them so far, but my body's feeling it. But there's just not much of a choice in this section because water's so scarce, so you just kind of have to make the miles, otherwise you're gonna run out of water even more. Like, I mean, I have 1.5 liters left, and I was planning on having more than that left, and I did 20 miles yesterday. So if I had done like 15 and needed to do like 11 or 12 to get to the next water source or the cache, I would be in trouble. But since I only have to do like 6.5 with 1.5 liters, that's plenty, especially if I do it in the morning. So yeah, they're big days, but then we only have 8 miles into Lake Isabella, so I'm hoping that that's a little bit of a recuperation day. Especially my Achilles this time, they're just real tight and sometimes a little painful, but it's not too horrible yet. I gotta say though, it's hard to beat a desert sunrise. They are pretty gorgeous. It's pretty comical. Yesterday in the morning when I saw a cactus, I'd be like, maybe this is the last cactus that I will see on this trip. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. So many cactuses. This rabbit is huge. It's like the size of a cat, or, I mean, definitely bigger than a chihuahua, that's for sure. Look at those desert ears. Adaptation for the heat. Wish I had those. Not really. I am so tired of this sand. Oh, it makes going forward so much harder. It's like beach sand. Although it does go to show just how far my plantar fasciitis has come, because my arches don't hurt doing it. But I'm so slow. Man, this was a way harder climb than I was anticipating. This was like one of the small climbs today. It was really hard, but luckily we got to do it in the shade. But geez, today's gonna be a really hard day. I think today's harder than the last 2 days. There's a lot of ascending. All right, 6:30 a.m., 3 miles in, and finally entering the sun. I'm really glad I did do that climb. before the sun was out, but we have a big climb in 4 miles. And that one I will be doing in the sun, but hopefully not in the heat of the day. This sand is your sand, this sand is my sand. Do you want my sand? I do not want this sand. It's very annoying and gets everywhere. This sand is bad for you and me. Alright, we are now descending the last 2 miles or so into the water cache. You can see the trail all the way down there. All the way down there, wow. And then I think we're going up and over and going up to 7,000 feet after the water cache. Right now I think I'm going to be hitting the water cache by 8 a.m., which actually should put me on pace to do 10 by 10, even if I take a half an hour break down at the water cache, which I plan to because I think I need to camel up and I think I'm dehydrated a little bit. My pack is so light right now with only half a liter of water and 1.5 days of food in here, and then pretty soon here I'm gonna fill up 3 or 4 liters and make it heavy again, just in time for the uphill. But right now it feels so light, like I'm flying. Seriously, if you are a trail angel that contributes water to these 2 water caches in this 30-mile dry stretch, or donate money to them, or any of those people, thank you so much. You are literal lifesavers. I have consumed, since starting the dry stretch, I think 6.5 liters already, and that is just to stay almost hydrated. Like, that's not even me being super hydrated. That's like, you know, my pee's still yellow type deal. So if I had to carry more, and that's like, I'm not even done yet. I'm still getting to the second stretch, and then I have 15 more miles to go. So I would be needing to carry like 9 or 10 liters of water in this stretch just to stay safe, because it is so exposed and so hot. So yeah, so you guys are literal lifesavers of all of us. Thank you so much. There it is. Let's see how much water there is. Lots of good water.
I guess this one
got
probably goes
refilled
down faster
yesterday.
than the other one for that reason.
Alright, I'm setting off to do the hardest part of the day, which is when we're climbing to 7,000 feet, and it's a continuous climb over many miles. I think like 3 or 4. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, so I'm not messing around, going straight to a podcast. I did take a longer at the water cache than I had planned. I did like 40 minutes, so I might not be able to do 10 by 10 anymore, but that doesn't matter. I don't really care about hitting numbers like that. What matters is me making it up this climb before it's too hot and without hurting my Achilles. So I will absolutely take breaks on this climb. I'm not just gonna like charge up it just to make it 10 by 10, but hopefully it's not too horrible. It's already pretty warm, and it's definitely gonna be a hard climb just physically, just because of the elevation change. Climbing all the way up there, and maybe beyond, because we have to go all the way to 7,000. Down there's the water cache. Alright, I've done 1.5 miles so far. I have 2 more miles to go for this climb. I'm doing pretty well so far. It helps so much just to have a podcast. It helps me to just focus on like one step at a time while I'm focusing on something else, rather than I get discouraged thinking of how much is before me otherwise on a climb. But like when I'm listening to a podcast, that just doesn't exist. It's just me and taking one step at a time, one in front of the other. So this first 1.5 miles were pretty decent. Hopefully the next 2 miles will also be decent. It's not fun, but I'm doing it. Less than a mile to go. I think I can. I think I can. I'm not gonna quite get it 10 by 10. It's 9:50 and I have like 0.8 to go. So can't quite do that in 10 minutes, but pretty close. And I'm so close to being up there, ready to be done with this climb. Feeling's getting a little bit sore, but it's not horrible. It's better than I thought it would be so far overall. Oh, perfect break spot at basically the top of the climb. I have like less than 100 feet to go, but I don't think I'm getting this good of a nice flat shady spot up there, so hooray, I made it. Yeah, I just checked gut hooks. I am 0.3 from the very top. It's only 100 feet of elevation change, so basically made it, and I definitely deserve a break. I did that whole, I don't know, was it 3.5 miles, something like that, just in one go. It was definitely quite the climb, but easier than I thought it was going to be. It's not, well, I guess because I'm hitting it earlier, but it wasn't super hot and there was a nice breeze going, so I was sweating, but like I wasn't like feeling the heat. So I've done 10 miles now, and our campsite is the first water source, which is like 19.5 total, so I am over halfway. It's not quite lunchtime because it's just barely after 10, but I'm definitely going to have a good snack and then take it from there. I'm ahead of all my friends, so I might just wait here till I see them. Also, great trail provides moment. My friend Fast Track, who was a little bit behind us because he left town later than us, he heard that I was out of gas and was getting tired of eating 2-a-day tortillas for lunch and for dinner, and he just like pulls out one of the small gas cans and he's like, hey, I've been carrying this extra one, do you want it? So he gave it to me, so it's awesome. So I'm super excited. So I'll at least get dinner today that's cooked, and honestly I'm considering cooking both lunch and dinner because I have these extra meals that I haven't been using, and I'm really tired of tortillas because I've been eating a lot of tortillas. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I now have a full gas can, plus Dirty Harry and Crater were also running low on gas, which is why I wasn't using their gas, so then if they run out they can also use from it. So it's a really good trail provides moment. Also, I just looked it up on flying around my face. I just looked it up on gut hooks. So I'm basically halfway. The first 10 miles I did 4,000 feet, a little bit more, of elevation change, and the grade was like 450 over a course of a mile. The next 10 miles are only 2,600 feet of elevation change with a grade of 250. So basically, I've done the hard part, and I'm expecting that it'll be easier. I mean, my body's tired, so it won't be amazing, but like, it'll be better for sure. Alright, I am moving again. Goal is 4.4 miles, where we're going to take a lunch spot. We kind of looked at it together. Looks like there's a good spot there. I'm so happy to be back in trees. So far they're not giving too much shade, but there's the potential for shade. And we are back on regular ground, which is so nice. That whole climb was in the sand. We probably did like almost all 10 miles in sand walking. So this is much better. Half a mile to lunch. I'm so excited to cook a meal. I packed either exactly enough food to get to Lake Isabella, or like honestly I could have packed a little bit more because I'm pretty hungry and definitely ate all of my morning snacks. So I'm really excited for a cooked meal. I think doing 2-a-day tortillas probably wasn't getting me the calories that a cooked meal does, so really excited. Half a mile. Made it. Now I just have to find the very best shade to sit in. For me, it's just, calories. Alright, I'm hiking again after a pretty nice lunch break. Did burn my pot a little bit, so then it became a little bit annoying. I'm a little bit lower on water as a result because I had to use a lot of water to clean my pot. That being said, I drank that water, so it still went to good use, but I only have about 1 liter to go 5 miles, which is about what people say, but I usually like to have a little bit more than that. Anyways, just 5 more miles. I'll be honest, my right Achilles is pretty tender, very tired. I have to like really force myself not to limp, even though it doesn't even hurt like that bad, but my body just like wants to limp to protect it, so I really have to force myself to walk normally. And yeah, it's just 3:20s in a row is a lot, but I really just didn't have a choice with the water situation, and because of the water situation I had no chances to ice. So looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow it's just 8 miles into Lake Isabella, so I can definitely ice then, and then hopefully our average will be a little bit lower after that. Wow, that actually looks a little like rain over there. I would be so excited. In fact, it does look like it's raining. I just don't know if we're gonna get under it at all. Dang, I'd love some rain right now. Whoa, check out this carcass. I can only assume that it's a deer. These look like hip bones. I don't know, it's huge though. Maybe a leg bone. Creepy. The good news is the trail is super gradual right now, almost flat, and will be for the last 4 miles. I honestly don't know if my foot could handle something steeper, so this is about what I need to not make my problem worse, and then hopefully a day in town and ice will make my problem better. The clouds are pretty awesome right now. We've got some cumulus clouds, we've got some altostratus clouds, we've got some stratocumulus clouds, and probably more that we can't see. Alright, just 2 more miles to go. The cloud cover is nice. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to make it to camp. Alright, I am on the home stretch. I have officially left the PCT, and I'm now just going a 1/4 mile to Cabin Spring. There's an actual cabin. There's a water source there that's apparently flowing really well. And I'm excited because I have less than half a liter left. And I'm so excited to be near water once again. And I think this marks the last long waterless stretch I will have in a long time, which is pretty cool. So yeah, weirdly my Achilles stopped hurting the last 2 miles, but before that it hurt for 2 miles. So I guess it's loosened up. I don't know. I don't think it's injured. I think it's just tired and it's saying, please stop doing multiple 20s in a row. To which I say, okay. Alright, I'm here first. So I get the first campsite pick, which means I'm gonna pick this huge wood, even though 2 tents could fit in here. I'll probably sit to the side just in case. But there's a porta potty down there. It smells real bad, so I'm going as far away as possible. But anyways, there's the cabin, and then the spring is running really well right there. Here's the water. It's flowing really well. And there's even a little creek, which means I could actually probably put my feet in here, since everyone's gonna get their water from above it. Oh, my feet want that so bad. Oh my gosh, I haven't been able to do this in like over a week, maybe 2 weeks. I mean, I've iced when I was in town, but I definitely haven't been able to do anything like this entire last stretch, and it feels so good. Oh. And it's so nice because like everyone's getting their water from here, so I can put my feet in here, no problem. It's not impacting anyone. This bee is digging a hole. I've like never seen this before.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Somebody tell me what is happening.
400 sign was close to the 500
Since
one.
when do bees dig
somebody was like,
holes?
oh yeah, I forgot to take a picture of the 400 500 one. I'll just make one now.
But someone modified one of the 500s.
Did it?